What is up? Welcome back. This is just a conclusion piece because I realized I don't actually really want to work on this right now. So I'm going to just put it back together to a state in which I can take it apart again later. But I wanted to point out a couple of things. When you're putting it back together, one, I already put the mirror box back on. Probably should have recorded that. I apologize. But like I said, you want to be sure that the two levers are sitting in here properly. That other lever, I believe, is the contact for, or bridges the contact for the auto winder here. So that's kind of important. It's the right place. And you just want to make sure that this is all hunky-dory in there. Reset this little spring. The other thing that I wanted to point out was the top of this camera is a virtual mess. Not as bad as a Minolta in terms of things we're just holding on to by hope and prayer, but the contact, or the cover for the hot shoe contact, sits very loosely, just like right there, just chilling, it's just hanging out. And then there's this spring. Now this spring I don't enjoy, but it's very important because it needs to sit right there. And if it doesn't, you're SOL pretty much. The housing here sometimes is broken. There's this little like silver screw right there. Punch in a little bit. Sometimes this is not there, so this just sits loosely, but this needs to be in the right position. Otherwise you can't put those screws on. That's very important. And then if that spring is not there, that is the reason that the back door lever will work. So if you don't have that in the correct position, you can't open the back door. I'm tempted to just take this wire off, but I don't really want to have to deal with that, so I'm just going to try and tuck it away. The problem with, that's awesome, the system is due to its very compact nature. There's not a whole lot of room for error in terms of putting it back together. So that's why a lot of the wires are glued in. That's why a lot of the things are kind of difficult to work on, because it is like clockwork. Also, I wanted to mention briefly that I've not had a lot of coffee, so my commentary is not going to be the best in the world, and I apologize. And the pulley system that I mentioned previously, I do know that that is the mechanism in which controls the galvan meter, which is the needle in this case. I don't know how to reset that properly though. So I think it's important that if you are doing this, you want to make sure you're not messing around with the ASA meter, the ASA dial like I was. You want to make sure that the off-on button is exactly as it should be. These are things that I did not do. I'm pretty sure I was dicking around with the ASA dial like an idiot. So that's probably not going to sit as well as I'd want it to. And also, I probably shouldn't have that where it is, but okay. Okay, that's good. So now that this is sitting properly, we can put the screws in here. It's these two black screws right there. I'm glad this is kind of in frame. I do need to work on the framing of this, I realize. I apologize that it's not the best in the world. But we're getting there. Slow and steady. Okay, and then now that that's kind of set, we just have to put this right back on top. And again, this is not a goodbye. This is just a see you later, because it does still need quite a lot of work on it. You'll notice that it's still a little jumpy there. That housing is not in the right place. This is also a little bit bent in, which is sick. I will say in terms of taking off the top, this is one of the easier ones to do that with. The unfortunate part again is just that that spring will oftentimes become loose and just kind of go wherever. And if that's the case, it's just really difficult to put this all back together. Because again, if you don't have that, you really can't open up the back door. So that is unfortunate, because being able to access the film is kind of a integral part of film photography, one could say. So housing goes there. And that tightens up like so. And yeah, like I said, it's not working. The top isn't on completely, the wire's sticking out. But really, I just need to put this back in position so that way my desk is clean. I can get on to some other things I'm working on. But yeah, I just figured I should make a little note about those items briefly because it is important. I would recommend not taking the top off of the camera, but if you do really want to, like again, more power to you, do what you want. But if you do, be careful of the plastic housing for the contact. Be careful about the spring here, because otherwise, notice how when I pull up on this, it shoots back down. If that spring isn't in there, it's not going to do that. So you can like pull up, but it won't really like pull down. So I guess it wouldn't prevent you from opening it. It just wouldn't close properly, which still is bad for film photography. You don't want the back door opening up all the time. That's just my 2 cents. Of course, I did do that the other day. The camera like fell off the dashboard of the car and sprung open on my lap, and I was like, well, that's cool. And I was most of the way through the roll too, so I'm like, all right, sick. Excited to see those pictures. Oh boy. And then there's that little cover there. Leather, I'm just gonna kind of toss on top. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna leave the back off of it for now. I got that. Yeah. So anyway, I just needed that out of the way, and I figured I might as well finish up talking about it briefly. Basically, Olympuses are fine. They're easy enough to work on. It's just, it's such a different system than anything else, and I have not spent much time with them. That's pretty much it. They are good cameras though, if you're into that kind of thing, but they are just kind of difficult to work on. So that is all. I'm gonna drink more coffee before I record another video, so hopefully the commentary is better. But till then, thank you very much for watching. Catch you on the next one.